Hi and welcome to this very special episode of Junk Journal with me. As you can see from the title, this is a collaboration with Rachel from Roxy Creations. And the idea for this video was that we would choose a digital kit from one of the Etsy stores and both buy that, download it, and each have a go at using it in our journals as ephemera, whatever. And so she didn't know what I was gonna do. I didn't know what she was gonna do. So we each just did our own thing and decided to upload it so you can see the different things you can do with ephemera. And for me, this is a huge challenge because, as you might know if you know my channel, I never work with digital kits. So this is a first for me and I had a lot of fun. And by the way, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome any of Rachel's viewers that might have popped over to my channel. And I am, of course, also linking Rachel's video below for you to see as well. So check out her channel. She has a style I believe is quite similar to mine. She makes amazing videos, amazing ephemera and journals, and it's totally worth checking out if you don't know her already. So I started out by cutting out all the pieces that were on 10, so I printed 10 different A4 size papers, and there was one bonus page that came with the kit. And I cut everything out to make it easier to kind of choose from, I had the feeling. So I'm going to be working on 3 different journal pages in my May journal. And I'm starting out by making a background collage for the last page in my journal. And I am choosing the papers for this by looking more for some of the more neutral toned pieces. And by the way, the name for this kit and the shop name, I'm guessing, would be interesting for you guys as well. So the name of the kit is Bee Ephemera Pack, and the shop owner is Stephanie, and the shop is called My Porch Prints. And I will of course link this digital kit and her shop down below. I think it's a beautiful kit. It's very versatile, and there's so many bits and pieces to it. It's amazing. So what I'm doing here now is trying to make the belly band. I have some beige neutral cardstock that I'm using as a base, which now I'm just going to put some glue stick on, and this piece of cheesecloth that I had stamped, and I made this watching a tutorial by Maureen Astrid about making your own fabric ephemera. I will link that video down below. It's really, really good. I really enjoyed that, and it's such a good idea to make your own fabric ephemera this way. It's quick and easy and fun. So I've used one of the pieces I've previously printed myself or stamped myself, and now I just glued it on, and I am going to cut the width of the cheesecloth. And then I'm going to glue on these images from the ephemera pack with my white glue. I really like the look of that on the cheesecloth. And I'm going to quickly ink around the edges of the belly band. And then just use my white glue to glue down both ends of the belly band to then glue onto my collaged background so that I can slip a journaling card inside that belly band. Now I'm looking at this May prompt list. This is a prompt list from Café Analog that I had found on Instagram, and I'm going to link that down, of course, in my description box as well. And I'm choosing the prompt Goals for June, since it is end of May. I thought that was a great prompt. And I chose what you just saw, this one print, because it has space on the front to stamp the name of the prompt, and I could then just journal on the back of the card. So I just glued this with my glue stick onto my beige cardstock so that it would have a more sturdy feeling. And I inked around the edges, and now I'm going to use my Recollections clickable alpha set stamps, which I got at Michael's in the States, and I've also linked them down with my Amazon links. It's not going to be the Recollections versions, but they are exact same thing, just by another brand. And I'm using my Vintage Photo, the same one I'm using to distress my edges, to stamp this prompt. So goals for June. And now I'm also going to, I wanted to add this little bee, which is also from the Ephemera Kit. I just fussy cut it. And I'm just trying to place it in the best spot. And instead of putting the glue on the bee, I'm just gluing the base, and then I'm going to take my heat gun to dry that to make sure that it's not sticky anymore. And now I'm going to journal about my goals, and I can tell you what I wrote. And I'm relating this to my YouTube goals, actually. So I'm writing, I do not want to measure my goals in the form of subscriber numbers or number of likes. Instead, I want to keep finding ways to add more value for my viewers. I want to keep pushing outside my comfort zone by trying new things, and by doing that, risking failure and learning from them. So, yeah, ambitious goals. And so for the next page in my journal, I chose this piece of ephemera and I'm going to glue it again onto this beige cardstock with my glue stick to again give it more of a body. And I'm going to cut it out and use it as a tuck spot this time. I'm just going to quickly ink around the edges again. And I'm gluing it down on two sides with my white glue to form this tuck spot. And I'm just going to use two clamps to hold that down a little bit until the glue is dry. And then I want to make, oh no, before I do that, I actually decorated some more. So I used some self-adhesive lace trim, and I'm trying to pick out which of the two white ones I like better, and I go with this one. And I really like the lace on this page because if you looked at the pocket on the other side of the page, it also has some lace, so I think that works very nicely together, the whole color scheme and the feel of the spread. And I'm also going to be adding two little buttons to it because I think buttons are always great to use. They instantly transform anything you put on it, anything you put them on. And you could of course just glue them down like this, but I went the extra step to actually sew through them and make a little bow. And I thought I could do it with this piece of twine, but it was too wide or too thick, so I just uncoiled it to separate the strands. And so now I just have one of the strands, and I just threaded it through the two holes, and I'm going to make a little bow, as you can see. Now this would have been easier would I have sewn them right through the card before gluing it on, but unfortunately I didn't think that far ahead. So I did the same thing with the other little button, and I'm now just gluing them onto this little tuck spot. I'm just going to show you a close-up in a second. So there you go. And I think that turned out quite cute. And now I'm going to make a little tag card to put in it, and I chose this floral one. It's very cute. And I'm again backing it with my cardstock. And then I'm going to use my paper trimmer to just cut it down. And next I'm going to be inking the edges as usual. And then I wanted to add a tab on the top, so I wanted to use a piece of fabric that would work well with the floral theme and the colors. So I'm trying a few bits of my fabric to see which one I would like best. And it was tough because there were quite a few that would have worked really well. And in the end, I actually choose this one, which came in a very recent Happy Mail from Marcia. And I'm going to tear a rectangle out of this piece. I like the torn look rather than the cut look sometimes because of the frayed edges. It really makes it look kind of more rustic. So I really like that combination, and I'm just going to use my regular white glue and glue both sides so that I can just glue that on the front and the back on the top of the card. And I'm going to leave the journaling for another time, probably off camera, on a random subject, whatever I then decide to do. But I really like the look of that whole spread now. Everything together works really well. And now for my third spread, I'm using this one, and I'm going to use a more neutral background by taking a piece of coffee dyed paper, and as you saw, I just kind of measured it to be a little smaller than the actual page. This is actually a back side of a pocket I made out of some pages, and after inking it up, I'm just going to glue that straight onto that page. And I'm again going to make kind of like a very quick and easy collage on which I'm then later going to add another tag to. So I'm just trying to pick out a few bits, again staying more in the neutral tones. But at the same time, I was also looking for some images that had some focal points, since this page was not going to be a background page like we had on the first page with the belly band. So that's why I wanted, for example, this little jar with the bee in it. I love this image. So now I'm just going to ink up the edges of all of these cutouts. Then I'm just going to glue them all down. And then I also wanted to ink the edges of this page, of this back side of the pocket, to just fit, to make it all kind of more cohesive on the page. Just putting that card back in. And I kind of forgot about this little jar, so I added it as well. And now these two little houses, they're like, you can make tags out of them, were the bonus page that you get when you download or when you purchase this pack. And so I wanted to make a tag out of it by gluing one onto the other so that the tag has two sides. And then I wanted to after inking it up, find some pieces. So I was playing around with some of the smaller bits, and I wanted to definitely use some of her words. She has very many cute words there that you can cut out and use, and I chose this one, Gotta Be Me. I really like that. And so I cut that one out, and I wanted to play around with some of the smaller elements to see what kind of a collage I could make. And I again was taking my cheesecloth that I had stamped, and I tried a few things out, but I didn't like any of that, so in the end I didn't use that. Tried it with various printables there, but I didn't really like any of it. And then I found this one, and I really like how that looked on that shape, so I decided to go with that one and just ink it up, glue it down. And then there wasn't much else I needed to do, so I knew I wanted to add this phrase, Gotta Be Me. And just to add a little bit extra, I decided to just cut some cheesecloth with these scissors. And I'm just cutting it to be a little bit bigger than the phrase, just to give a little accent and to give a different texture as well. It's always nice to add various textures to something. Now I'm just gluing both of those pieces down. And then I also wanted it to have some sort of a ribbon or something on top. So I am using my it's my, I think it's We Are Memory Keepers crocodile to punch a hole and now to put an eyelet in. I decided to go with this like copper, I guess it's a copper color. And there you see that, and that instantly gives the tag a more finished look in my eyes. And rather than using a ribbon, I again went to my cheesecloth, and I'm just tearing a little strip that I can use as a ribbon, and I'm going to just thread that through. And I also wanted to add a charm to that. So before tying that down, I went to my little box of brass charms, and I picked out one that has like this little tree on it, which is really cute. And I'm taking my jump ring, and I'm just going to attach that and then thread it through the little cheesecloth ribbon. And I'm just gonna tie that off. And I decided to add it onto that page using this golden swirly paper clip, and I will link those down below as well in my Amazon links. And that is the third spread. So I hope you enjoyed this collaboration. Please don't forget to head over to Rachel's video as well to see what she did with the same kit. And I'm very curious to see it myself, because at this point of filming this, I do not know. So yeah, hope to see you the next time. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.